Okay, hi guys, welcome back to another review. This time we're taking a look at the Moji Monica H20. This is a one dynamic driver, two balanced armature hybrid earphone coming out of China. I believe it retails for about $150, and I've spent the past 10 days or so listening to this, and I actually think for $150, I think it's actually bang on the money. It's not one of these earphones that's going to punch outside its width or outside its price point, but for the money, this is a really nice earphone. It's nicely thought out, and it's tuned really nicely as well. So let's go ahead, take a look at the box. You have H2O on the front and nothing much on the back. Nice quality cardboard. And you can start to see that the presentation starts to look a little bit special. You have some Chinese writing there, and then you have Moji Monica, little H2O slab here, little metallic thing, and then you have this quote, "Be water, my friend," by Bruce Lee. This is indicative of Chinese marketing and stuff like that, where they try and make some sort of relationship between some quote or something. This is referring, I think, to, is it when Bruce Lee was talking about how water takes the form of everything, and it can sort of be molded to whatever you want it to be molded to. And to be fair, these earphones are good all-rounders, good solid all-rounders that work with a variety of genres, and that can kind of, you know, I guess they're trying to make the peg fit the hole. But yeah, it's a nice little presentation, a nice little touch. When you open it up, beautiful presentation. I mean, $150 earphone, beautiful presentation. I'm a big fan of what they did with this. Now this has been opened before, and it has been used for the past 10 days. This case comes wrapped in this little plastic thing that just makes it easier for you to pull it out. And the cable is actually wrapped in this little sticker, rather than most of the Chinese companies right now are doing the little Velcro tab to wrap up the earphones. If we take a look at the case again, I've seen similar cases to this, but this is a really nicely finished one. It's a sort of faux leather with a suede finish on it, and embossed Moji Monica. Really nice quality, semi-rigid Moji Monica again inside, which I think is a little match for this H2O badge here. Plenty of space to keep the earphones and some spare tips. So yeah, really nice little box. Going into the cable is decent. It's not on a level with things that like Tin Hi-Fi are doing at this price point. You can see here I've had it wrapped back up for 3 days, so it is going to show this memory retention. But the memory retention, while it loosens off, if you wrap it up and even just leave it for a few hours in a bag, it's going to take the memory of the shape that you left it in. We'll do a quick test. This is the bird's nest test, and this it's kind of not the worst that I've seen. It's not like a Campfire Audio, which is $1,000 headphone, has a far worse cable than this. And remember that this has been in a box for yeah, a little bit of time, a few days. So right angle jack, I like that. A lot of earphones are coming with the straight jack, so yeah, quite like a right angle jack, just because of the way I hold something right-handed. I like to have the cable going off away from me. Good quality metal there, excellent strain relief. If we go up to the splitter, metal splitter on it with a little Moji Monica emblem on it, and a tiny little just plastic band tube cable cinch, which, you know, it gets the job done. And yeah, it feels absolutely fine. Up the top you have the traditional memory wire, and this is a 2-pin earphone. Most people know that I prefer an MMCX cable, but when I do get a 2-pin connector, I really like it to be on a recessed housing, which if we go into the earphones, this is not a fully recessed housing. If you see it here, it's very slightly recessed. There's a very slight indentation, so it actually gets the job done, and it does provide that extra protection from these pins actually snapping off. So cable, decent, maybe give it a 6, 7 out of 10. But again, this is quite a cheap earphone, and that should be taken into consideration with this. We'll take the earphones out in a second, but we'll look at the accessories first. Of course, you get the instruction manual and the warranty card that nobody will ever bother their backside with. It's just a waste of time, but it's included with most Chi-Fi earphones. You have this little pin thing just for decoration. It doesn't actually come out. And then you get into the tip selection. Tip selection on this is fantastic. You have 3 sets of foamies, 3 sets of these green tips, and 3 sets of these standard clear tips, because it actually comes with these installed. The tips are good quality. These ones are a little bit firmer, and these ones are a little bit softer, and traditional foam ones. The only thing I would say about the foam ones is that this is the small and the medium and the large. The medium's kind of large for a medium. It's more akin to what I would say is a medium large. It's just a little bit on the big side for me. Anyway, into the earphones. And the earphones, when I first saw them like this, I was like, oh no, not another acrylic job. But when I took them out, you see that it's actually a metal body with a little resin or inlaid faceplate, and this is actually a really, really nice looking little earphone in the ear. Construction wise, you can see a lot of joins around it. It doesn't affect the structural quality of it or anything, but you know, it doesn't look as pleasant seeing those lines there. But again, $150, I can live with that. What I love about these earphones, these are one of the smallest over-the-ear headphones, CIEM style headphones that I've ever used. And these are super, super small, super unobtrusive in your ear, super comfortable. If you've got small ears or you don't like big bulky earphones, these are absolutely fantastic. If you just give me a second, I'll grab something else for reference. So completely different price point. But this is a Solaris 2020. No, sorry, this is the original Solaris. And look at the size difference between those two. No, they're not in the same ballpark, but and they're on the larger side, but you can just see how small those are in comparison. So absolutely disappear in the ear, and they actually have quite a shallow insertion depth, which makes them really, really comfortable and sort of opens up the soundstage as well. In terms of comfort, I think we discussed that. Really, really comfortable, nice and small. Build quality, metal body. Even behind this plate is actually metal, you can see here. So there's no structurally weak points on it. I think the faceplate looks really good, especially in the ear. It's got a sort of transparent depth to it, where this is actually a resin bubble, and that H2O is actually set onto the faceplate, so it actually has some sort of depth to it and looks really, really good. Now onto the sound. Sound was really impressive with these. As I said, they're not going to be one of these earphones like a Tin Hi-Fi P1 that punches above its weight, but for the money at $150, this is a very good canvas. It has strong bass response, obviously with that dynamic driver in it. It's very smooth, it's got a slight hint of warmth, very sort of Harman targeted tuning to it. There's actually good extension into the treble. It's very, very fluid into the treble, and there's nice little bits of sparkle. Mid-range sits slightly back, but with that warmth, it has a sort of prominence. It sits just back from the presentation of the bass, and the treble is a little bit more sparkle, so you're getting that sort of slight V shape on it. But the mid-range sort of does stand out because it's got this nice weight and warmth to it. Very, very open, clear sounding earphone for the money. It has the treble with that extension sort of pushed a little bit, it manages to open up the airiness of it as well. And then with the venting and I think the shallow depth insertion, you just feel like you've got a lot more space in there than you usually would. Detail retrieval is fairly decent in the mid-range. It's only 2 balanced armatures in this, and they do a fairly good job of portraying it accurately, but it's not one of these ones that is like with the planar magnetics at this price, and even at some of the higher price, the electrostatics and stuff like that are going to give that unreal sense of detail retrieval. This is not going to give that. It gives good detail retrieval, but not anything exceptional. The bass is good. There's no bleed into the mid-range, and the lower end is punchy and tight and controlled and not overbearing in any way. It has good speed, but maybe lacks a little bit in that texture, you know, that sort of refinement that you would maybe get. And of course, sub bass. This is quite a small earphone, and it's not got that massive impactful sub bass response. It's a good bass, and I would say it's bass enhanced slightly, but it's not anything you know, that a bass head would be raving about. Overall, I think they're a fantastic set of earphones. I just think that for the money, $150, would I take this or would I take a $100 plus KZ earphone? I would take this every single day. This is just a better all-around package. It's nicely designed. It feels like it's going to last a long time. Maybe after a little bit of time I would replace the cable, but I would wait for it to break first. And yeah, super impressive. Never heard of the company before, but really like it and really like the way they've tuned it. So yeah, I recommend these little ones, and thanks for watching.